Hello, grade 10. Back again. Do the last bit, our level 2. Now remember, we copied and pasted all of these things because I'm super lazy. You can't see. Now you can see. Right. Level 2 tab sheet. We have to rename all of these panels. And that is quite important. Of course, we cannot use the same names as the other panels. And we will go through a process and give them a good name, referring them to level 2. Start with P and L for panel, and this will be the question 1, level 2, level 2, make it a capital L2. No, that doesn't. Question 1, okay, let's go to question 1. This will be PNL2 question 2. PNL2 question 3. The name of the panel, not the label. We're going to still do the label separately. PNL2 question 3, 4. PNL2 question 5. PNL2 question 6. PNL2 question 7. PNL2 question 8. While I'm about naming the panels, I'm going to question 10. So I'm going to do the names of these panels too, but these must be random. PNL2 answer 5, yeah. In completely different places. PNL2 to answer 9. Making numbers here. PNL2 answer. This is a very important part of this process. In the directive, it said, in the instruction, it said that you have to have answers must be randomly placed on screen. Answer 1. PNL2 answer 3. PNL2 answer 1. See what we got so far. Already. See the numbers we have here so far. PNL2 answer 9, 6, 5, 3, 10, 1. We'll do 4, 8, 7. Make this PNL to answer. We'll make it 4. Answer 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. We've got 7. We don't have number 2, do we? Okay. 2. Let's make it 2. PNL2 answer 2. Answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very close. PNL2 answer PNL2 answer 7. I think we've got them all named now. Now we have to go around and name the labels. This is where the label, I'm going to look at the structure list over here. And we're going to call it LBL2 question 1. The LBL2 question 2. LBL2 question 10. You see that's PNL2 question 10. Question 10. This label is question 2. LBL2 question 2. LBL2 question 1, LBL2 question 2. What did I? Panel 2. This is LBL question 2. LBL2 question 3. You have to have your wits about you here, guys. LBL2 question 4. Then over here, LBL2 question 5. LBL2 question 6. LBL2 question 7. Make sure the labels are named same as the panels. Remember, you have to have these labels on here so that you can just turn them over, so to speak. LBL2 question 9, as the instruction said. Here we have it. So those are the questions. Now the answers are in the other group box. And we can go here and look at our group box panel names. That'll be LBL2 answer 2. LBL2 answer 10. Oh no, this is LBL2 answer 1. You see, I even made a mistake there. That won't work properly then. Don't get your names right. It's extremely important. LBL2 answer 2 here. That other one was answer 1. That's 10. One is LBL2 answer 3. And LBL2 answer 4. So 5. LBL2 answer 6. But double check, very important that you have all of them. You can do so by looking at your structure list here. Crucial, and obviously the group box we should name as well. Did we name our group boxes in the other event? I mean the other tab sheet? No, I don't think we did. GB questions level 1. And then other group box GB answers level 1. Here we're going to name this group box GB questions for 1, level 2. And this is VB questions for, answers level 2. Right, done. So we've named everything. Hopefully it's all correct. If not, we'll have some errors in the code. But in the on-show event of our tab sheet, we're going to have to make some changes. And with all the other events. And instead of LBL answer caption 1 and LBL answer, LBL 2 answer 1. And you have to put a 2 in front of all your label names. Now look there, LBL 2 answer 3 doesn't exist, so now we're going to find out where our mistakes are. And all of this has to be having, 2. These must have a 2 in front. And those Boolean flags can stay. You don't have to worry about them. Just need to find LBL2 answer 8 and LBL2 answer 3. Go back to our group box here in the structure list. And make sure we have LBL2 answer 8. That, oh wait, questions and yep, is properties, name, something, did something wrong, LBL2 answer 8, LBL2, remember it's different labels and can't use the same code as the previous one because it will refer to the other labels. Right, so that is so far correct. We can even run the code and let's see. LBL2 answer 3. So I'll find LBL2 answer 3. I think I changed the caption. No, yes, I didn't change the caption. LBL2 3. LBL2. I left an S there. Name, property. Pretty silly. All these little things are going to make a difference. Right, so next thing is the button click events of these, the on-click events. Now, you noticed when we copied them over, you can see level 2, thank goodness we haven't got the same on-click events, although there we do. We have to delete these on-click events here. We can't use them. We've got to go to each one of these buttons and remove the on-click events for those panels because it's referring to other tab sheet panel on-click events because I copied and pasted the components. That's why you have to make sure you are removing the procedure as well, the on-click event. Make a new on-click event for each one of these. And yes, we'll copy and paste lots of code. Very time consuming. Don't forget to file save all. Right, so on-click event of that first panel for the questions. Now if we go to our, and this I don't lose it, we go to our tab sheet level 1, go to the on-click event there, safely copy and paste this into tab sheet, the panel. We got one here. Have a look. Panel, print it, delete, on-click event, delete all of this. That's not going to be a good idea, now is it? No. So that is our problem right now, that we have those all of these on-click events for the panels are showing up regardless of whether we clicking the wrong button. If I double click here, I'm getting onto the other one, which I don't want. So I can't do that. You're going to have to choose option over here. If you click the drop down arrow, then you'll see there's a whole lot of them. There's the panel 2 question 1 on click event. So there it is. It's the only way you're going to do it. And then you have to change the, put a 2 in front of your label. That's all. Same the others. So if I double, I don't want to double click there. If I don't double click it, sorry, this one there. Now this is 2. Yeah, click the drop down arrow and choose the right on click event. So we want actually a PNL 2 question. Well, that's the question 1. No, we don't want 2 question 1. What we have to do is delete that, do a double click, then go back again, click on it again, and then go and choose. It should be the panel 2, PNL 2 question 2. That doesn't show up. Right, but let's try again. I double click this button, then I get that, which we don't want. We don't want PNL question 2, we want PNL 2 question 2. This is level 2. Oh no, this is level 1. Wrong tab sheet, because I made them look the same. You know, maybe change the background color of your tab, of your group box. I'm going to do that now because I'm going to get hopelessly confused otherwise. So let's go to the color property and change it to another color. Oh, no. Right. So I was on level 1, so we're on level 2 here. We do need to make a difference between the two. Make them look the same because I'm getting horribly confused. So here we go. On click event. Now it's working fine. And I'm going to 12 weeks already did do that. That's 2 question 2. Now 2 question 2. Go over here. Question 3 to LBL2 question 3. LBL2 question 4. You don't have to rewrite the code. Yeah. Oh. I think I might have made a mistake with it. Let me check. LBL 2, question 5. How do I know? Because I'm seeing the panel name there. This is why it's so important to put in names of everything and be accurate with the names. Panel 2 is going to hold panel question 6. Panel will hold label for question 6 and so on. Here we go to question 7. There's there 7. Better sit and watch me do this. I'm going to run. I think I might have a problem with my first tab sheet because I might have linked some of these with the wrong. Yep. PNL question 1. This one's been question 3. 4. See the on-click event, you have to make sure you link the right on-click event. But luckily I sorted that out because that first panel was linking to question 2. Let's go and check our panel. Click on the panel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything's there. Now, what about this? All the answers. Well, I'm going to go to the one of the answers, the first level. Quite a lot to copy. Control C. I've copied the end as well. And then we're going to go to TBS level 2. Take any random button. I'll just start at the first. I know I'm in panel 2, answer 5. So I'm going to delete all that, Control V to paste. And now I must remember that I'm at answer 5. Panel 2, answer 5. And change that to answer 5, panel 2, answer 5. You don't have to worry about the B1, 2, 3, but you have to do panel 2 to do that. Make sure that it's panel 2 question, panel 2 question 1, so on. Now, this PNL 2 question 1 is giving a problem because it means that I've named it wrong. So we will see now. So I've done all of this. You don't have to worry about the Boolean flags. They can stay. A matter of putting a 2 in front of the numbers. Doesn't take as long. And now we've found out. And if the score is 10, then you're going to basically show a message, you know? Show a message, you know, something. You can do something amazing there. Change the color of the form or something. That's up to you, okay? 4 equals 10. We do want to do something amazing. Maybe go back to the start. DGC.active page PBS tab sheet. So if they really wanted to go and do some more things, play again, then they can. And each time there'll be different numbers to multiply. So that's good. That's what the thing. Let's go and check this panel 2, question 1 name. We're going to do 9 others of these. It's panel 2, question 2, hey? Panel 2. Panel 2, Q2. Right, okay. Panel 2, question 1. Oh, it's panel 2, question 1. Panel 2, oh, PN. Didn't give the right name. PNL. PNL for panel. Right, so we have our on-click event of this done. Now, we're going to copy and paste this on-click event into that first button, into all the other ones. But we have to make sure to exactly done here, otherwise the code won't work as it did in previous things. We double click the next one. This is PNL2 answer 9. Answer number 9. Answer 9 with a 2 and a 9. Put a 9 there. All we have to do is replace the numbers that we have already, because I copied and pasted PNL2. So maybe as complicated as that first editing. So V, go up, number it is, number 6. So all I have to do is change that to a 6 and this to a 6. All in the numbers, guys. This is 10. Change the 5 to a 10. Remember, we put our answers randomly. We don't want them to be in the same place where the questions are, because then that's not going to be random. We placed all our panels randomly around the form for the answers. Now, of course, this is one way to do it. You can do it 100 different ways, but the rules have to be the same. You must have different questions each time. And the answers must be randomly arranged. You must be able to turn the box over so that so if they got it wrong, if they got it right, you must remove the blocks, so on, as we have done. That is the rules of that was stipulated in those rules. L2 answer 2. Thank goodness. Naming panels so that you know exactly where you are for each button click event. Learned anything from this? It's something that programmers, well, school children make a mistake when they doing their PATs in grade 11 and 12. They don't name the components. They don't know where they are. They get horribly lost and confused. They don't know where to go to find the answer. Of course, fix something because it hasn't been named. Don't know where you can have thousands of lines of code. We're going to see how many lines of code there are now. And we've done all of it now. So I'm going to file save all. Just run to see if there's any syntax errors. Then we'll go to level 2 and see how it works. Now, this is quite complicated, isn't it? If I get it wrong, it's supposed to go off. So that's not working. Hey, and that's fine. The actual buttons to get it wrong is not going. So we do have to fix something. That's for sure. In the on-click event of all of these panels in the thing, we do have a problem. Panel 2, question 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. They were all done. Let's see if our first level is working. Might be 1, 3. Okay. Was working fine, no problem with that. Oh, let's have a look at our on-click event. So now the questions go up, but if I click over here, oh wait, maybe I wasn't clicking. I don't know. Okay, yeah, it does. But my score, I haven't got my score written out. But that didn't disappear. If I got it wrong, that doesn't disappear. So it's supposed to disappear. So that's the only problem there. Question 10, non-enabled, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. E1 equals true. If our answer equals this answer. Did we set our answer? We did actually. Or is, we do need to get a, going to make another cap. And we're going to have to change that for everything now. But there's a way to do it. Quite a lot. I'm going to change the font. I'm going to have to go through each one. We need to get a label over here to count our score. Name. Will score 2. Change the wrap. And then, of course, we have to do that label. Let's just go and look at the on-show event of this tab sheet. Will score 2. What did we do with all the, got our random numbers? L2 answer 10, 9. 8, okay, B1, nothing wrong there. Button click events of these are fine. So fine, because we found that it didn't disappear, but when we clicked on this, if the answer was not equal to this answer, go to the place for that option, else begin from answer. So you have to put comments in your code saying what is going on everywhere else. Begin. If B1 is true, then we make visible the LBL2, question 1. B2 is true. We set LB3 is true. 4, LBL2, question 4. 5 equals true, LBL2, question 5. 6 equals true, LBL2, question 6. 7 equals true, LBL2, question 7. 8 equals true, LBL2, question 8. 9, LBL2, question 9. B10, LBL2. Why are we going again? 2 equals true. Done. If B2 equals true. Good. LBL2, question 2. That question 2 is not required there. I don't think that should make any difference. You don't have to put a semicolon before n, by the way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is end of if the answer was wrong. Yeah, that's just the thought. So yeah, we can go through each one of those and see. I don't think that is actually a problem. I cannot see that would be a problem. So it could only be that maybe in this on-click event, 1 equals true. Oh, I see now. B1 equals true. I didn't change that. And this one's supposed to be B2 equals true. That's what. This one's supposed to be B3. That's what. I was copying it. I didn't make these Boolean flags. Now it will be perfect. So why do we have to have these Boolean flags? Well, we need to know which block over here, this process here, check it, we need to know which block has been chosen so we can make it invisible. Why do we have to make it why do we have to make these Boolean flags invisible? I mean, false. After we've used it, well, like we're doing another question now, you know. So we need to set the flag to false so that block is not selected anymore. And that is why we did all those falses, false. Setting all those Boolean flags to false because not selecting it anymore. Over here, we set them to false when we're finished with it. You know what I mean? If it's true, well, you're making the panel, the question panel invisible, and you're basically resetting the Boolean flag so that they can click on. Okay. So let's go make something true here. Now, obviously, I don't know the answer to that question. And I don't know unless I Only problem with this label story is if we click on there and we click on the actual label, it doesn't click on the panel. You actually need to tell the user, and my score is naught. And you know why? Because we never upgraded, we updated that setting the score, the panel, sorry, the label score 2. So on, we never did that. It's supposed to be in this LVL score 2, not in LVL score. So we have to go through each of these panel clicks and make sure we are displaying it on the correct panel. You see how exact you have to be with programming. If you want to have a proper result, you have to make sure as a programmer that everything is working 100% perfectly. And if it's not working, it's because of the programmer. You are so responsible when you are writing programs. Make sure they run properly. You are absolutely and totally have to be accurate. You have to triple check and double check your code. It's nothing wrong with the computer. It's purely the code. Now we will see our score when we go and do that. Now, of course, I'm never going to get 100 score because I don't know. I mean, I haven't got my calculator with me yet. You could have made these more, easier to multiply because it's a very high level. You have to have a calculator to do that. So maybe changing the numbers to easier numbers in the on-show event. Remember when we generate those random numbers, we can maybe rather just go 1 to 10. I think I maybe a bit of overkill there. There was pretty high level. I'll do that to them anyway. For each of those, we generate random numbers for each of the panels. Make sure that they can have doable multiplication. Going from very easy to very difficult. Good idea. This is junior school, so we have to remember that. So that's only going to be 1 to 9. 1, 10 is going to be from 1 to 9. So that second digit in the random range is 1 more than your upper level that you want the random number to be. So 1872. See what happens when I finish this. That was very easy. Yeah, it wasn't very. Of course, you must position 5 6s of 30. I have to think now. Some of these are very easy. Right, now, winner, now it goes back to level. Welcome. Right, so that's all for your PAT. And then the documentation. I want to show you your documentation. That's quite a tricky business, so excuse me while I can find it very quickly here. So there's your Word document, and in your documentation, I have put a Word document that you have to use to fill in or on the shared drive or on Teams, on the IT data drive in your classroom. And let's open it quickly. Here you are going to read your document over here, the learner document, and describe your scenario in detail. clearly stating the topic, the task that's involved, what your program is going to be about. You must be detailed. Solution, so you can describe what solution you used. If you had a race, if you used one of the other scenarios, if you used this scenario, you can talk about 10 questions and answers. And the scope would be what age group and what can the program do and what it can't do. And you will basically describe how the panels will be removed if you get the answer right, and a chance to redo if they get it wrong. And the two types of users. Now, this is the tricky part. Your user types are going to be your levels. You'll have an easy level and a difficult level. So you can just basically fill it in. As a beginner, I would like to be able to do simple maths. I can learn maths better and so on. So waffle on there. And then acceptance tests. So right, for this user 1 and user 2, the system shell, for the lower level, the system will provide simple maths from multiplication. The system will, and then you will have the answers that you can choose from. And you're going to just describe it again. I'm going to click on an answer, and then another thing the system will do is if the answer is wrong, then the question will disappear. Then you have to find the question again. And for you have a chance to click on the question again to find the right answer. The answers are going to stay visible. And if you get it right, then you can move to the next level. If you get 10 points, so you can also say, well, you're going to get a score. And for user 2, it's going to be similar, except when the score comes to 10, you go back to the original one. Over here, you must have a flow chart of your program. So this is going to be quite tricky. You're going to remember the flow chart we did in term 1, where you have a start screen, and then you will have a process going to let me try and see if I can do this quickly. This seems to be locked for editing, maybe because I've got 2 of them open. Close that one. So you will use you'll insert your shapes. Shapes for a start screen and a shape for if statements. So then you'll move to the next, your screen will then go to, that's your start, when the program runs. And then it'll go straight to a welcome screen. So you have an arrow going to the welcome. And then you click the button to the next screen and so on. I'm sure that you'll be able to manage that. Now, for your GUI design, you do screenshots of your different screens. So while you can screenshot this one and then screenshot this tab sheet, then screenshot that tab sheet and that one and screenshot, and then basically label everything to a print screen and paste it into your Word document and then describe what's going on. Then for each screen, put little labels on. And over here, data input from the keyboard. Well, you won't be using a text file. You don't have to use text files. I didn't show a PAT with a text file this time for a reason. You can't even see my screen. Good thing. Can you see it? Have a look. Oh, no, you can. Right, you heard me waffling on, but I was talking about this Word document that I've given you to fill in. So there's a show, but anyway, over here with the geo design, you can do screenshots of your program. And then for input, source of input, what kind of input from the keyboard? Well, basically it's clicks, a click, and your data types. Well, we've got a ton of data types. The global variables, for starters, you can refer to as your data types. You look at our onActivate event. Oh, wait, we don't want that. If you look at the global variables, you'll see that you have your Boolean flags and your score that's going to be incremented, and that our answer is going to be used to test. So you just discuss that basically in your data types. And the component use a label for the score, so you'll have a string, like on-click event for when you find. We're basically only clicking on things really, and your input is going to be from clicking on the button. And you can just talk about your global variables over here. That would be a good idea. And then the validation. Now, what are we validating? Let's think about it. And input being validated. Well, there's no validation that can happen here because of the fact that we are clicking on a button, go straight to the tab sheet, and there's no error. And you can basically say, okay, your on-click events on your panels don't actually require validation because they're clicking, but you must have messages here saying click on the panel. If the person clicks on the label by mistake, you can also have a little hint that comes up. Let me show you. If they click on the label, they go click there, and then they click on the actual label, we can actually have a little message coming up, click on the panel. So that could be your, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. That could be your validation to make sure, and then the error message would be that. And you can just say, well, 3 different labels that you put that in, and that may make 3 more. So that would be validation. Now the data processing, well, we do need to talk about that because we're doing a lot of processing here. In your on-click event of your panel, we have to go and get the name, the 2 numbers on the caption of the appropriate label, so you can describe that over here. And we're using string handling, copy and delete, just write copy and delete. And then we look at another processing over here. We can say we have to we have to get the answer from the caption, and if the answer is correct, we can increment the score and then set the panels to invisible. So you can describe that over here using your visible and disabled property and incrementing RNC. So that can be described there. In the output, quite a lot of output that we are dealing with here. The only data type we have is string into string, and the output for our thing would be our score. Okay, and moving on to the next tab sheet. So you can say you display the score there. You have a message showing that they're 1, so you'll have a show message component, and you'll have a score on the panel, on the label. So that will basically be it. And I hope that you enjoy doing your PAT and have a happy year.